Just Satan.
No, it's not.
Why not?
Haven't you ever heard of,
Again,
let's
my
say,
point here is that if you don't know the difference between Jesus and Satan, you just believe based upon faith, well, you're just as likely to follow Satan as you are to follow God.
well, Satan is more into like tarot cards or haunted things or stuff like that.
Tarot
More dark.
cards? Come on.
I'm just saying more dark things like psychic powers
Like
and
Jesus,
more.
How Jesus used psychic powers?
How did he use psychic powers?
I mean, he was healing people, bro. Appreciate the crown. Thank you so much. He
That's
was
not
using,
psychic
yeah,
powers.
he was. Those are psychic powers. You believe he
I
was
don't.
healing people, right?
Of course, he was healing people.
Okay, so he was using psychic powers. He was using magic.
That's not magic.
And what is magic?
Magic is like it's hard to.
Supernatural power. He was using
He
supernatural power.
he was doing it for blessings, for miracles, and then
Yep, supernatural power. So he's magic.
no, he's
Appreciate the
God.
superpower. Thank you so much.
There's a difference.
So Jesus is a magical being.
I don't like to think that he's magical.
But that's literally by definition what he would be. He's magical. So you believe in magic?
No, I don't believe in magic.
Oh, okay. Well, then
I
Jesus
believe in
couldn't possibly
having
have used magic then, you know?
I believe in having faith, and that's something totally different against is magic.
Okay, what if someone has also, by the way, Jesus used magic, one. Two, if you have faith, you're just as likely to follow Satan as you are to follow Jesus. Christine, I appreciate the superpower. Thank you so much. And Clay, thank you so much for the $6.66. Thank you so much, Clay. So, what's your point here?
My point is Jesus is Jesus, and he's not Satan. And there's two different ones for good and one's for evil.
Appreciate the bunny ears. Thank you so much. Melissa, thank you for the $3. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Well, what you perceive as good is put in the Bible. Isn't what he would perceive as good different from what God would perceive as good? So Satan considers it good to create this world, but what Satan perceives as good is actually evil.
What? Tell me something. What has Satan done that's good?
Well, he disagrees with God in all circumstances, right?
Yeah,
So he
but what
thinks
is good about
children
that?
shouldn't starve to death. And I agree with him there. W Satan. Children should not starve to death. Right? Yo, Blitz, do you agree with Satan here that children should not starve to death?
I do agree with Satan.
You see?
But you know that. But Satan always, or I'm sorry, Satan also tempts people. Like, for example, um, to unalive. Like I say people like who have uh, mental issues. Like I don't know if I can say this word, schizophrenia or
Yeah, my
uh,
friends who have schizophrenia, they have to have a process in their mind to be able to differentiate between what is delusion and what is real. And if they don't have that and they just believe things based upon faith, well, they're just as likely to believe that the delusions that they have are real comparative to the real experiences that they have. So you have no if you have no process to differentiate and you just use faith, well then schizophrenic people are justified in believing in their delusions.
well, I
Yo,
don't know.
George, thank you so much for the $6.66. Thank you so much, George.
Well, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to say that some mental issues cause people to harm other people. I don't know what mental illnesses that would be considered as.
Yeah, there can be those as well. I appreciate the hint art. Thank
Yeah,
you
and
so
that would
much.
be considered from Satan.
Wait, but they would be just as wait, you'd be just as justified to believe in that as you would to believe in your religion. And also, again, I don't think that's Satan. There's plenty of other explanations. And don't you believe God sent us to Earth to allow Satan to tempt us?
Absolutely, we were sent to be tempted. Yeah,
So
by
then,
God.
Do you believe that? So God intended for us to be tempted to do evil, right?
Uh, we were sent to have, like I said, free will to make wrong choices. That if we know Jesus, that one day we will be with Him.
That one day. Okay, so again, why couldn't we be with Him from the very beginning? Why couldn't God have put us in heaven right away?
Because if we were with Him immediately, like from the very beginning, what was the point of Him coming and unaliving on the cross?
Well, I would say it's unnecessary, right? He could have just dabbed for your sins. You know what I mean? He didn't have to. He didn't have to. Go die on a cross and engage in sewer slide, right? That's a sin under His view. So it's good. It's good for God to do sewer slide, but it's wrong for us humans. Rules for thee, but not for me.
How is it that though? It's not. I mean, he
He
was,
engaged in an action that he knew was going to lead to self deletion.
but okay, so he wasn't committing unaliving himself
He
because
did. He did.
God,
He
it was God.
engaged in an action knowing that this was going to happen. He could have flew
Yeah,
away like Superman, right?
but it was,
Are you limiting
but
God?
but it was God's plan for him to come to earth and unalive on the
Exactly. So
cross.
so it was self deletion. So it's
Yes,
okay for God to self delete. It's good for God to self delete, but it's wrong for us humans. Rules for thee, but not rules for me.
but he rose on the third day, in which he's alive today.
So
And
he's so then you believe it wasn't he didn't actually die on the cross then.
I believe he died on the cross and rose again.
Wait, but then wait, so then my point is he was always living, right? There was never a point he died.
Oh, he died. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. He
Oh, so he
unalived. Yes.
wasn't living at that time, at that moment, for those few days, he was not living.
No, he was not living. No,
He was dead.
he was. Yes.
So he's not eternal.
No, not at that time. No,
No, your God is not eternal.
he is eternal.
Okay, well then
He
that's a
is God.
contradiction
Okay,
within the Trinity
God.
because
God
Jesus
is
is not eternal and the Father is eternal. So they're
because he
identical
was
and distinct.
because he was flesh. He was like us for. He was like us. He experienced pain for how many? 33 years while he was on Earth. He was born as a baby. I'm sure he cut himself, or he injured himself, and
Wait, so he impregnated his mom who was a minor, right? And then decided to go through birth that he made painful. And he remembers his entire birth. So he remembers going out of his mom's I appreciate the hand art. Thank you so much. He remembers the birth.
I don't know. I'm sure he did. Yeah,
Appreciate
because
the
he
hand
was
art. Thank you so
he was
much.
God. Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't think that it was wrong for God to impregnate his mom who was a minor?
No. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here today. Where there would be no story to be talked about.
So incest is okay then?
Not today. Not in 2024.
But incest was okay then.
Yeah,
What about the Old Testament?
the Old
The
Testament.
Old Testament condemns this.
Yeah, because God made Adam and Eve, and He told them to multiply.
Yeah, but if he wanted them to multiply, why did he only create two of them if he thinks incest is bad? It seems like he created them specifically insofar as that their children had to engage in sister fucking.
I know for a fact He did. I'm pretty sure Adam and Eve had more kids than just Cain and Abel.
Yep, brothers and sisters had to go at it. And that's your view
Yeah,
because God made it this way. God wanted brothers and sisters to go at it.
yeah. And that's how we have
Yeah?
so many
Okay.
today.
So God wanted incest.
Like I said, He wanted people or them to go out and multiply.
Yep, he wanted that incest. He could have made many humans, like how he spawned in Adam, but he decided specifically that he wanted the incest. So, under your view, God prefers incest over no incest.
He doesn't. He doesn't like it today.
Wait, but in this scenario, he preferred incest over no incest. So why does he not like it now if before he preferred it? Appreciate the hand art. Thank you so much.
Because if he didn't, there would only be Adam and Eve and Cain and Abel, and it would stop right there. It would not. We would not be here today.
Well, no, he did it twice. Remember, because with Noah's Ark, right? He also knew it was going to happen again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it would stop there, but with them,
Appreciate
with
the hand art.
Adam
Thank you so
and Eve,
much.
Cain and Abel, and then with Noah and his family, and it would stop there. We wouldn't be here today.
Okay, so you're saying we wouldn't be here today, right?
Exactly. If he would have stopped it, we wouldn't be here today.
But no, he could have made more humans, right?
Why? Why would he want to do that?
Well, because then it wouldn't have led to this foreseeable incest.
I don't know. I don't think anything's wrong with that. I mean, he's God, and at the time, it was just what he planned out.
Yeah, and it seems like he's planning out the new Game of Thrones season finale, because the last one was bad. He's gonna make a greater good.
I don't know anything about the Game of Thrones, so
No, don't worry. The people who have watched Game of Thrones know exactly what I'm referencing there. Thank you so much for the 12-month subscription. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, he will make Game of Thrones great again. I'm really confused here. Like, it seems like there's so many things here that give us reason to believe that this isn't true, right? And actually reason to doubt that the God that's perceived in the New Testament is actually good, right?
well, can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
How do you explain? Have you ever read Revelations at all?
Revelation?
Yes, Revelation.
I've read many aspects of it because people cite it all the time in terms of the prophecies.
How do you explain everything that's going on today with all the wars, all the earthquakes, all the
Wars and earthquakes have happened throughout history. Human, thank you so much for the glowing jellyfish. I appreciate it. Thank you so
trying
much.
to think what?
The
How do
Euphrates
you
River has
explain
dried up
the-
multiple
the-
times throughout
the-
history. Actually, the Euphrates River dried up even more in the past because, which actually led to almost the entirety of human civilization in that area collapsing.
What about the It was, I want to say it was the beginning of this year or last year. How do you explain the moon disappearing for like a week, 2 weeks at tops?
Kirk, I appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much. Blitz, you want to take that one away?
When did that happen?
I want to say it was like November or December of last year, maybe the beginning of this year. I had video on my TikTok or my other apps of the moon
Did it
disappearing.
like it was in the sky and then it just vanished?
Exactly, yes.
I'd love to see video of this.
Yeah, I didn't
Okay.
know at some point it just went away.
Yes, it did. For like, I want to say it was like about 2 weeks, 3 weeks, somewhere around there. And other people had witnessed it too. It was on many other. It was on FB. It was on TikTok. It was other people had noticed it too, not just me.
Wait, so if it disappeared, it would have disappeared for all of us, right? So why didn't I notice it?
It did.
You're saying I just didn't go outside for a whole 2 weeks.
Exactly. I'm sure you didn't notice it, but I mean, it was like Australia. It was all over
I
the
go out every
world.
single night because that's actually like when I get off live. So like I'm always out at nighttime. So I feel like I would have noticed that, you know?
No, I'll have to get the video
Appreciate the hearts. Thank you so much, Christina.
and I'll tag you in it.
No, okay.
Could it have just been clouds?
Yeah, or like pollution.
No, it was no clouds in the sky at all. And then my husband was like, "Where's the moon? Where's the moon?" We would be driving home every night at like 11 o'clock or somewhere around there, and it was like, "Where's the moon?" It would not be in the sky.
Oh, wait a minute. So it's not like you saw it and then you were still looking at it and it just poofed out of existence. You just didn't see it at night sometimes.
No, it was like 2 weeks, no clouds in the sky, no moon. It was just stars.
You know that half of every month the moon is out during the day and not at night.
It was no, it was not out during the day either.
So what do you think happened?
I honestly, I've read it in the Bible, but I don't know. I mean, I honestly don't know. I mean, I could try to, let me see if I can Google it with my phone.
Well, or you could talk to a physicist.
Who's a physicist?
Blitz.
Oh, well, I'm gonna Google it, see what day it was that the moon went missing.
Yo, Tanisha, I appreciate the
I'm
$10
still I'm still
on
here. I'm
Cash
just
App.
getting my
Thank you so much,
phone.
Tanisha. I appreciate it. For an
Okay,
extra
hold on.
$5, you can get Blitz to eat the chip. Blitz, eat the chip. Yo, let's go. Yo, W's in the chat. Yo, Blitz, did you know yesterday someone bet me 10 grand? So I only hear the bet. If Trump wins by 30 million votes, I owe them a grand, right? But if he loses by, or I mean, if he not loses, if he wins by anything less than 30 million, right, or loses, then I get 10 grand.
Oh, that's so easy money. Do you have it
I know.
writing?
So yeah, no, and I know that they're gonna pay too. So Tanisha, I appreciate the $5. Thank you so much.
That's such an easy bet.
I know, right? Like
Why
that's
would they offer you 10 to 1 odds for that?
they were that confident that Trump's gonna win by over 30 million votes. He's never won a
Yeah.
popular vote, right? He lost by an even wider margin in 2020, 7 million votes. So I
Yeah,
don't see how he would win
that's
by 30 million. So
You're
even
gonna
if
have
he
to
wins
report
by
that on your
20
taxes, of
million,
course.
oh yeah, of course I would.
Okay, so it goes back to October the 27th, 2023. That's when the moon was missing, and and
All right,
they
one
were
second.
trying to say that David Copperfield was trying to perform the magic act on it.
You're talking about the night of October 27th, 2023?
Yes, yes. That's when the moon had gone missing.
Anna Garcia, I appreciate the
So-
dollar.
I'm seeing that the moon was out that day.
Like I said, I know I got video of it for multiple times. It wasn't just one day. It was not in the sky at all. And I'll have to get the video and tag Parker for sure.
Yo, Tashika,
time,
thank you so
what-
much for the golden party. Tashika,
What time were you looking at the moon?
what are you doing, Tashika? I
It was
appreciate
like, I know it was around 10. One was 9
Okay,
o'clock.
So the moon set on that day was just after midnight. So it could be that the moon was too low in the sky.
I know another day was like 10. I know one was 9.
Izzy,
Another
thank
day
you
was
for the
like 10,
$2.
and another day was 11.
Kendrick, thank you for the dollar.
So 3 different days there was no moon.
Well, so keep in mind that if the moon rises in the afternoon, it will set in early night, right? So, you know.
Tara, thank you for the $10 on Cash App. Thank you so much, Tara. I
Hey
appreciate
Parker,
it.
do you want me to get you the video and tag you?
Yeah, I'd love to see it. Love to see it. I can look at it if you do
Okay,
so.
I believe it's on this account. If it's not on this account, it's on my other account for sure.
For sure.
What part of the world are you in, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm in Texas.
Okay. Because I can pull up exactly when Yeah, so moonrise was at 7:05 on December or on October 27th, 2023. Moonset was at 7:15 in the morning. So it should have been visible. And there's video of it not being visible. In fact, if you give me the time, I can tell you where it would have been.
Okay. It's also, like I said, this person that was really, really big on YT had also posted some, and I'm gonna look him up really, really quick on the exact date for you, and where he was located. Oh, wait, that's not it.
Yeah, so like I mean, I would actually argue here that if you base everything off of faith, not only are you just as likely to follow Satan as Jesus, but you're also more likely to hold all these different types of conspiratorial beliefs that the earth is flat, things that like have insanely absurd conclusions. And we can point these out infinite amounts of times, but really the biggest issue comes from the fact that you believe in things without sufficient evidence. That's where all this stems from.
Yeah,
So that's why I
my
think you're
biggest, my
susceptible to
big,
these beliefs.
huh?
That's why I'm saying you're susceptible to these beliefs and why you're susceptible to following Satan. Appreciate the little crown, thank you. If you believe
That
this, by
won't
the way, because
never.
I don't believe Satan exists.
I do. God, I cannot find it.
Yeah, but if you do believe it, you're just as likely to follow it. So that's my point. And I think that's
No, I
problematic. And I
believe.
think even you see that to be problematic. So you have to appeal to evidence. And when you appeal to the evidence, well, the evidence disproves Christianity.
The reason why I will never, the reason why I will only follow Jesus is because of of what he's done for me, and Satan what he's has not done for me.
So again, could Satan do things for you to manipulate you into thinking that they're God? Like people all the time who are bad people will do good things to make you think that they're good. Yo, Grandpa, thank you so much for the meteor shower. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Don't people do that all the time? Or is that to Blitz? I think that's to Blitz.
Sorry. Can you hear me?
It wasn't to me, I was just giving a W.
Oh,
Because it's
okay,
huge.
okay. Yeah, I appreciate the meteor shower.
Can you
What
hear
were you?
me?
Yeah, I do hear you.
Okay. Sorry, I swiped out for a second. What did you say?
I kind of just forgot because I got a meteor shower. Do you remember Blitz? No? Okay. Yeah, so I think the point I was making is that uh, everything can just be made to seem like it's God, because good people or bad people all the time will do good things to make you think that they are good.
Well, I can tell you one thing. When I was, God had got me through something really, really huge when I was 6 years old. And at that time, that was the first time I ever got saved. And ever since then, I will never look to Satan, because he, plus not only that, he's brought me to so many, many, many other things.
No, again, my point is that if you can't make the differentiation here between Satan and between God, right, and you're just assuming that it's Satan because you're associating it with a negative experience, well, that leads you susceptible to following Satan because, again, bad people can show you good things in order to be able to make you think that they're good. Do you
Why
think
do you
bad
think I
people,
would
do you think serial killers can do charity?
do? I think no.
No. So there's never been a serial killer that did charity.
Name one. Not. I don't know any of that have.
I could find ones right now that literally use it to make people think that they're a good
John
person.
Wayne Gacy, I think.
Yeah.
Was that his name? Or John, the clown guy? He volunteered to do kids parties as a clown.
Yeah. Al Capone ran soup kitchens. Okay. I don't know what your point would be there.
Wait, what? They did?
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Dorothy Helen Puente was a convicted serial killer in the 80s, and she did charity. Mark Phillips. Or actually, that's the title. Hold up, never mind. I take that back. Yeah, so I mean, I can point to, yeah, it is John Wayne Gacy and Dean Coral.
Then why would they go and unalive people?
Again, they were doing the charity work to make them seem good, right? Make them not be suspected by police,
Oh yeah, I've seen that like
to be deceitful. The same way
on
that Satan
ID
could
channel.
use good things to make you think that he's good when he's actually doing it for evil,
Well, you know,
deceiving
well,
you.
I know for a fact that Satan is evil and he does stuff for.
But he can do good things for an evil purpose, right? That goes to my point. So just because you had a good experience doesn't mean that that's not Satan. Because Satan
I
can
don't
do good things in your perception for, right, evil.
know. I've never seen Satan do good things for evil. I've only seen him do
I've
evil
never
things for
seen God
evil.
do anything. So, I mean, what's your point?
He's never done anything for you, like your whole entire life,
No, what?
like nothing at all.
What is this notion of God done for me?
Like, bless you with your TikTok account, with what you talk about, with
Blessed me with my TikTok account? You
yeah,
think
with I'm sure
God
you
did
have a
that?
girlfriend, right? I'm sure with the girlfriend, he's blessed you with that, with her.
These things have nothing to do with a God existing. These are
And
all
I'm
things
sure
I
you
did.
bless you with your family. I'm sure you have a family,
These are
right?
literally all things I did. I just happened to be born in that circumstance.
And I'm sure you have a home.
Okay.
I'm sure God can bless you because with a home and a roof over
So
your
why does
head,
God
food to
bless
eat.
me but not the 3.6 million children who starve to death every year?
How does he bless them? Because there are people that go over to say Africa or China or wherever, and they feed them. There's missionaries out there that go over there and feed them.
Yeah, but that wouldn't have to happen if it was the case that your God made our biology work in such a way in which we did not need food. In that case, there would be no child starvation. So it seems like your God is unnecessarily creating child starvation, which tells me that he prefers children to starve to death.
No,
Okay, so God has a preference against children starving to death. So God would have
not
made
it.
our biology in such a way in which we do not need to eat food, given the fact that he has a preference against children starving to death. And the presence of the ability for our bodies to die, given the fact that we do not eat food, inevitably leads to children starving to death.
Did you know back in the day that we didn't have they only ate like manna and I think water or manna and water was their only meal today. Unlike today we have like steaks, burgers, and all kinds of chips and stuff.
So they only ate manna.
I think it was like manna and water or something like that.
No, that wasn't the only thing that was eaten at the time.
I can't remember who it was. I think it was maybe Noah or Moses or somebody only ate manna and something else and had
Well,
like
Moses
water.
didn't exist, so I mean,
How did Moses not exist?
well, there's historical reason to believe he doesn't. Or you could just be on agnostic on his existence and say that there's no reason to believe he's real.
How would you explain the Red Sea? Where did the Red
I
Sea
don't
come
believe the
from?
Red Sea was parted. You believe that the Red Sea was parted and that they walked
Absolutely.
across the bottom of the ocean or bottom of the sea?
Absolutely. Yes, and they have evidence.
And what evidence is that?
They found
No, they didn't.
they found horse remains. They found like chariot.
You'd find horse remains. They did not find a wooden chariot, no. That wouldn't be able to survive in the conditions for that long. Not even close.
Where did you read up on it?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, was it the Red Sea that he was put in a little basket?
The Red Sea that he was put. What do you
That was
mean?
the Nile.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Nile. Yeah, where did the Nile come from? I mean,
What?
The guy, he was put in the basket and put in the Nile, and then later on he was put in the Bible.
What do you know what she's saying, Blitz? I'm confused.
The Nile's a river.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
I know.
what?
I'm saying the Nile was in the Bible. Like late, okay. First
Yeah,
Moses was
and
put
New
in the
York City
basket in
is
the
in Marvel
Nile.
movies.
Okay, but I'm just saying that the Nile was first and then was put into the Bible. Like
Sure, people can.
say Jerusalem, that was before put in the Bible, and then Bethlehem,
Oh,
all the
I'm
cities that were Jesus happened, Nazareth were all put in the Bible, which is basically all true.
with their real places, sure, but I
Yes,
mean, there's
exactly.
real places in comic book like series on TV. There's real places in like comic book series and movies like Marvel. Okay, New York City is a real place. It's in Marvel movies.
Yeah, but first it was like, but that's a movie though. Spider-Man is like was just a character.
And the Bible is a book.
Yeah, but have you ever seen a movie where those people come back to life?
Um, no? Do you want to respond to this, Blitz?
Exactly.
Where people come back to life? A movie
Yes.
where people come back? Yes.
Have you ever watched
Every
a show
zombie
where people?
movie. The entire zombie genre.
Have you ever heard of people coming back to life? Like,
In a movie? Yeah. It's the whole
no, no, I'm
zombie
saying,
genre.
yeah, like a TV show. And TV shows, movies, they don't come back to life. Then, like real life, they do.
In TV shows, people come back to life all the time.
Yeah, but I'm saying, do you know anybody in person in your life that has ever come back to life?
By the way, Blitz, just letting you know that went to you.
Oh,
I'm doing it
thanks.
to
That's
both of
huge.
y'all.
W. I didn't even
Huh?
notice. I was trying to understand. Sorry, it was a. Don't worry about it. Was that Tashika? Thanks, Tashika. Yeah. Do I know anybody in real life who's come back to life? No, because it's impossible.
How is it impossible? You're talking to somebody who has come back to life.
Were you brain dead?
Yes, I was brain dead.
If you were brain dead, then you'd still be brain dead.
No.
Is that what you're telling me?
I was all the way unalive. I was in a
By
coma.
what standards? How did you like? What part of you stopped working that makes you be unalive?
My heart, my brain, I was in a coma.
Okay, you were in a coma, so your heart stops. That doesn't mean brain death.
I was put on an I was intubated. I was brought
Okay,
by the paddle thingies. What are those things called?
that's to start your heart. That doesn't say anything about your brain.
I was still brain dead. I was
If you
brain
were
dead. I
brain
think
dead, then
one.
you wouldn't be awake now. Look. Here's the thing: brain death occurs when your brain doesn't have oxygen for like 8 to 10 minutes or something like that. Um, And if your brain didn't have oxygen for even 1 or 2 minutes, you would not be talking to us right now. That you would be severely disabled. So like not all comas are the result of brain death. Most comas are recoverable.
Well, I just know that I was out for like three days, and today I'm alive, but I do have memory issues because of it.
I mean, yeah,
I'm sorry to hear
it
that.
sounds like you weren't brain dead
Yeah.
because otherwise that'd be a medical breakthrough.
Yeah, like we would have all heard about this.
What do you mean? It would have been a
This has
medical
never happened
breakthrough.
before.
So why would I have the memory issues?
I have memory issues. I've never been brain dead.
People have had memory issues from like say they're drowning in the ocean and they can have medical issues in terms of like their memory and their brain without having brain death.
So if being that I was in ICU that and basically passed away, I could that's probably why I have memory issues.
So you had brain damage, but it doesn't mean brain death.
Okay,
So,
gotcha.
so brain death, just definitionally, I'm just going to read the first sentence of an article. Brain death is the permanent, irreversible, and complete loss of brain function, which may include cessation of involuntary activity necessary to sustain life. Notice that it says permanent, irreversible, and complete loss.
Okay, I gotcha. Okay. I see the difference there.
Yeah. So then here would be our point. Is wait, what was the point from this? I actually.
The point is that um like anything can happen, like that I was saying that you can talk to that you're talking to somebody that had passed away and that's alive today.
Oh, people. So you were saying people. Oh, you were saying God resurrected you.
I'm not saying, well, kinda, I guess you could
So why
say,
doesn't God save the children who die every year? Are
because
you
it's their
saying that
time
He
to go.
prefers to not save them?
Because it's their time to go. Versus, I guess it wasn't
It's
my
there.
time to
So
go
so
that I.
God wants them to go.
Yeah.
God wants them to die.
So they can go home. They won't be in any more pain or suffering.
So why didn't God just poof them out of existence rather than do it this way, like through starvation, which is extraordinarily painful? James, thank you for the $5. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know God. I don't know why God does some of the things He does.
Okay.
But I still believe in Him.
Yeah. So, but like the point would be is that like you could say that these things, if I said that the Satan did them, you'd be like, oh, they're evil, right? But immediately when we say God did them, well, I don't know the reason why God did it. There's probably a reason. That's what you're saying, right? So you're saying there is justification for these children starving to death. It's actually good.
It's not good.
Wait, but you just said God should do it, right?
No,
Because
I'm saying
God's
I don't
sending them
know
to
why
heaven.
God.
So
I don't.
similarly, how God's sending them to heaven by killing them when they're kids, well, couldn't it be the case that someone who aborts babies would be sending them to heaven and therefore doing something good?
But that's one thing I won't. I don't believe in is unaliving babies.
Oh, like how God literally makes it so that children starve to death? Or how he drowned everyone in the flood? Made everyone drown in the flood?
Because He was getting rid of evil.
Okay, well, the infants were evil?
What infants were there? There weren't
There were
any.
no infants living at that time period?
I don't believe so. No. I
What point in human history were there ever no infants?
I just know there was the Noah and his family, but I don't remember anybody other than them. I
What
thought
about
there
the
was
rest
only
of
like
humanity?
men. Wait, what?
What about the rest of
I
humanity
mean,
that was suffocated and drowned?
the reason why
I
God
thought there
flooded
was
the
only
earth
evil
was
men and
to,
women.
that was the whole point was God was flooding the earth to unalive everybody except Noah's family, which means that there was like other people, right?
Yeah, but
I.e.,
I
there
don't
are
think
going to
that
be
he
people
was.
that had babies, infants.
I don't think those
So there
babies
were no
would
pregnant
be.
women?
Well, I don't think those babies would be uh, in
So,
hell because they didn't know what was going on. They're innocent.
but God drowned them. So is it good for God to suffocate those babies?
Like I said, I don't know why God does some of the stuff. It's Him. I believe in Him, but some of the stuff you can't explain.
What do you mean?
Even the hugest Christians cannot explain. Only God knows. Even pastors can't explain. We can
Um,
we
yeah, so maybe that tells you that they don't have answers, right?
exactly. None of us Christians have the perfect answer, and we can't have the perfect answer.
So why does God hide the answer from you?
He's not hiding the answer. He's given
Well,
the
why doesn't the
Bible for us.
Holy Spirit give you that answer?
There are some things we're
Appreciate the hand
not
massage. Thank you.
meant to know.
So God doesn't want to give you the answer.
Some things, yeah.
Okay. So again, right? This is God then limiting our ability to know. So if God is limiting our ability to know, well, then how come he lets us know in other scenarios? How come he gives us a Bible? How come he gives us revelations if he doesn't want us to know this?
Then if we didn't, we would never pick up the Bible, right? If we're like, oh, well, God only wants us to know this little bit, then we would never pick up the Bible and read it.
Well, you're saying that, wait, so I have a question. Why did God make the Bible go through an imperfect medium rather than just speaking the Bible into existence himself?
Why did the Bible go through like all the disciples? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, why did he make it be written by humans, which is an imperfect medium, rather than speaking it into existence himself and keeping it perfect?
Because he wanted it to go through the people themselves who saw everything that happened,
Why?
because it was their life stories or testimonies, what they witnessed.
So,
I mean, I'm sure there's more than Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John and the 12 disciples. I know there's more, because I know there's what, 300 something stories in the Bible, or I mean, books in the Bible.
with 300 books in the Bible?
I thought there were that many, like from Genesis to Revelation.
No. Appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much, Skylar. I appreciate it. No Christian I know believes that many books are in the Bible.
Really? How many do they believe that's in the
It's
Bible?
like 66 and like 72 or something.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. So that's like 100 and something. Hold on one second. Hold on.
66 is for Protestants, 72 I think is for Catholics.
Sorry, dogs are barking. Hold on. Okay, sorry, I'm back.
Yo, AS, I appreciate the subscription. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Swingler, thank you so much for the subscription as well. I appreciate it. So,
Okay, I'm
Gigi, thank you so much for the subscription as well. Holy shit, people are going crazy. So again, my point would just be is you don't know the difference between Jesus and Satan. You're just as likely to follow Satan. Well, why do you want to believe and live your life behind this if you're just as likely to be following Satan and worshiping Satan as you are to be following and worshiping God?
okay. For one example, let's use TikTok for a minute. Okay, so there are I've been in so many lives that
Heather, thank you for the subscription.
have been argumentative, and I can only imagine that's demonic, and that only comes from Satan himself versus some of the
Having
other
debates
lives.
is demonic
No, I'm not saying debates. There's like just
because we're
other lives,
arguing
but
right now, so you would be doing something demonic.
no, I'm not saying just. I'm not talking about just like debates. I'm talking about other stuff that are have like arguing in it, and that's only from Satan himself. I don't believe that Satan going to calm life with uh, let's say speed dating. Let's say speed dating is another life I go to, and it's more relaxed, more calm, or more. And to me, that's more like Christian, like more godly,
Okay.
because there's no cussing, there's no fighting, there's no name calling. versus like I don't life's like okay, let's use
Like, are you watching
one
like Sammy or something? Because like if you're watching almost any other one,
yes,
that
yes,
probably exists.
yes. And let's use let's say one huge debater. I'm not going to say his name, and it's not you.
Dean,
It's not Dean. No, someone bigger than Dean than y'all.
who does
But
debates?
he does debates. Yeah,
Hamza.
his let's just say his name Harry. Is
Oh,
it
Harry.
Harry?
Yeah,
Yeah. The arguments and it's horrible. And
they're
to
not
me, that
really. You think Harry's debates are demonic?
let's just say it sets my anxiety on end, and I like have thought about leaving TikTok because of it.
I'm sorry to hear that. I
Just
do.
block him.
Yeah, I mean, blocking could help on that.
I did.
Okay. Well, I mean, if anything, I would probably think that like this is a bit more like aggressive than probably those political type lives. This this
Well,
this seems really aggressive to people who just like see the background. Like I understand what people are confused by when they see this. But the point of this background is to run you into the evidential problem of evil, because you're going to have expectations for what you consider to be good and bad outside of the context of the Bible that you apply onto Jesus and Satan to say that Jesus is likely to be Satan. I mean, likely to be good, whereas Satan is not likely to be good, right? And that's how you justify you following, right, Jesus if you do so. Otherwise, right, it seems like you're just as likely to follow them both,
right.
right? So, and under your view, you're just as likely to follow them both. So that yields crazy absurdities.
Yeah, I got you.
But like, yeah. So I mean, you think Harry's lives are demonic?
I
Is that what
think
you're
they have
saying?
more evilness because of the the crazy of the arguments and the fighting and the cussing and all of that's in it. And sometimes this life can be that way too. I'm not gonna lie.
Sure. Well, is there anything else you'd like to talk about or add?
Um, no, I'm sorry if I offended anybody in this live. I apologize. I know I probably didn't make anyone happy here.
No, you're fine. Don't worry. I appreciate you coming up.
Thank you, Parker.
Have a good day.
You too. Bye bye.
All right. People are requesting someone. I'm looking for a Timothy. I don't see a Timothy in the chat. I'm looking. I'm looking. There, I do see a Timothy. Yo, what's up? Do you think Christianity's true?
Absolutely. And I don't know why you're keeping Aspen on so long. She didn't even know how many books are in the Bible. It's ridiculous. I don't understand why we're using her.
I let everyone debate for a while.
Yeah, but you're asking someone questions that clearly don't know what they're talking about, and then they're putting all Christians, judging all Christians based on that. It's not fair.
Well,
I
I
mean,
bet in
surely,
this
Timothy, you're going to
conversation.
do better, right?
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say, I bet in this conversation I'll think the same thing about you, Timothy.
Anyway, yeah, so the problem of evil, so God is righteous. He is the author of life. He gave life, and he has the right to take it away. When he kills someone, it's within his right. It's not evil because he's the author of life. He can take away life at any point.
So you think it would be good for God to kill your family?
If he deemed it was best in the best interest of humanity to do so, yes. For the longevity of the human race, for his purpose, yes. He is the author of life and he does what is just. He is
Was
good.
the Holocaust for the greater good?
In the grand scheme of things, yes, because he has to allow freedom of choice, and he created a universe. I had a debate about this with J. Mike. He's a atheist philosopher, right? And we went.
Molly, I appreciate the subscription. So all things considered, child grape is good.
No, all things considered, God is perfect in all his ways.
Oh, so then you yield the contradiction. God created a world where there's something that's all things considered evil. Unless you consider child grape all things considered good.
Yeah, so all things considered, the ends of God's purpose justifies the way that the world
Like the
operates.
means. Yeah, so you're saying that the means child grape is justified because of the ends.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
So then God created a world in which there's evil.
Can you still man my position, right? My position is this, right? All things considered, only perfection and justice exists. But without all things considered, they're parts of the all things, right? If you ever to make a pizza, you need your different ingredients, right? The pizza is the all things considered. You need to have the dough, the water, the yeast. They're all components of the pizza, but you need to have the end product, the pizza. You need to actually bake it and put it in. So the all things considered part is the end product, right? If you do not have all things considered, which is the human perspective, then you eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil. You've eaten of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, which is separate from God's omniscience, because you do not see all events and all times and all perspectives. God sees a much bigger picture that you don't see. God sees all the consequence of every event. So if you give to charity and you think you're doing a good deed, it could turn out that you've given to the wrong person and they end up overdosing on drugs and killing themselves or unaliving themselves. Sorry. One final thing there is that all things considered, from God's perspective, is good. From human perspective, it's evil from the flesh.
Okay, so all things considered, child grape is good, and you're delusional for thinking it's bad.
No, that's not what I said.
That's literally what your view is.
Manning my position.
I'm not straw manning anything.
Yes,
I promise
you
you
are.
I'm not.
You are straw
No,
man.
I'm
What
not.
did I steel man my position then?
That is the steel man, right?
No, it's not the steel
Because it
man.
yields contradiction.
It's not. It's paradoxical. It's not contradictory. It's paradoxical because you
All
don't.
things considered, you consider it good. Otherwise, God created a world where there's something in which is not all things considered good, which would mean that he's not good, all good.
No, all things considered, it is good, but from a human
So
perspective,
all things considered, it is good for child grape to occur. That's your view?
in the grand scheme of things, God allows human to freely choose.
No, is it good, all things considered?
The eventual outcome of whatever has happened is
You
good.
can't answer it. Oh, so child grape is all things considered good. Oh, he just got hate speech and hateful behaviors. I mean, well, he is.
I might actually finish this chip.
Yeah, that's actually wild. I mean, he is literally saying that all things considered, that's good. So I don't know. TikTok.
I mean, the
took
steel
him
man.
down.
The steel manifest position is something like, there is only good in the world. It's just as we are limited humans, we see things that are bad.
Yeah, which is exactly what I said. All things considered, it's good,
yeah.
and by our perception, it's evil. You know what's a Powell to you?
Yeah.
But he thinks that we're delusional. Then you know. Luke, are you there, man? Someone said, get an actual good debater. This is who y'all asked for. Like, literally, y'all are like, oh my gosh, move off this person. This is going to be a better one. And then he literally just argues, right? That child grape is, all things considered, good. Good. Yo, what's up? How old are you? Hello? All right, let's go to the next person. He said, we don't expect that. I got kicked. You got banned, bro. I just told you that. You try to send a guest request. You won't be able to. Oh my. Yo, what's up? How old are you?
Hello?
Yeah. Do you think that Christianity is true?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you now.
Okay, for sure. All right, let's go to the next person. Everyone, please only send a
No,
guest.
don't turn me off, please. I do
Okay.
have some viable points to make. You've brought up a lot of things. You're way off your topic.
Can you hear it? Can you hear Parker?
I can barely hear him, but it's fine.
Turn up your volume.
I did.
Because I can hear him just fine.
It's okay. But first, I would like to commend the young woman. She did her best with what she knows to give you the truth. And Timothy, he had some viable points also. You have viable points. But I want to get back to Jesus is not Satan. Jesus did not exist. That name came from the organization and the setting up of the Catholic Church in the Byzantine Empire. and how it got passed down, that name. Martin Luther left. He kind of kept the Jesus. The Protestants started their religions. They kept the name Jesus Christ. It's just a name. There was no person to go with that.
So do you
It was
think
based upon
do you think the person we're
life of
referencing,
Yeshua
Jesus?
HaMashiach. Yeshua HaMashiach is the Son of God. It is proven that he
Jesus is just the
existed.
Latinization of Yeshua.
There are
Yeah.
historians that documented in their writings that that Yeshua existed.
Okay, so you know I'm referencing them. So do you believe, or how do you know that they are not Satan?
I believe that I call them the so-called Christians. They are followers of Satan. They don't realize it because the church has given him that name. We're at the end of the age. We need to get back to the early church. The early church members were Jews. They lived their life, spoke in Aramaic and Hebrew, and
Wait, so
did
Jesus
their
is Satan.
religious activities in Hebrew.
So Jesus is Satan?
No, that is just a name. It's not a person at all. It was just a
Names
name
refer to
assigned
people.
to the Savior
Names
or the
names refer to
Catholic
people.
Church. Please let me speak. Now,
Names
I
refer
am
to people.
alive. I want to tell the young woman I had the same experience. In 2019, I died. I was taken unconscious to the hospital. My children were called. I went to, and had a separate spiritual experience where God himself sent me back to be here to help the Christians. So I know what she went through, and she did die, I am sure. Her experience was very much like mine.
Did you experience brain death too?
Pardon?
Did you experience brain death as well?
I will not go into those personal things. That doesn't have any consequence here.
Well, because either you died, i.e. brain death, or you didn't.
I will not speak on those personal issues. They have nothing to do with the
Then
topic
why did you
at
bring them
hand.
up?
Pardon?
Then why did you bring them up?
Because I wanted to verify that there are other people who have gone through the same process of enlightenment, or whatever you want to call it, so that they are learning and moved up on the spiritual scale. The tree of life that Timothy brought up is actually a spiritual, mystical portion of Judaism. And there are levels of spirituality that you move up on. The top level is Keter, which is the crown that Yeshua
I don't see how this is
spoke of.
relevant information. The point I would ask you is, how do you know the difference between your claimed notion of God, right, who came down on earth as a human, right, and right what you perceive to be as Satan, right? Well, how do you know the difference between
Satan exists. I've seen him face to face. I've seen Yeshua face to face. You have to reach a high enough level of spirituality. And
Yeah,
I'm
so
not
how do you
here
know
to
that these aren't
argue
just
with you.
schizophrenic delusions?
I am here to defend the young woman. I am here to let you know that you have to be careful when you condemn other people. I really respect you, Parker. I have watched you many times, and you're very knowledgeable. God himself has given you your ability to speak. He has also given you the ability to discern who is credible and who is not.
Yeah,
I believe
and he
you would
also
make a great
gave
attorney.
every human the ability to starve to death, which has led to 3.6 million
He
children
doesn't
starving to
give
death every
them
year.
ability to starve to death.
So why does
If
my
we want
body
to
work
use
that way?
as an example, the people in Gaza have made that decision on their own. They could
You
have
did not
moved.
just say that. You did not just say the people in Gaza made it.
It's their own free will.
There is a blockade.
They do
right?
not move
Stop
themselves
talking.
out
Stop
of the
talking.
way.
Stop talking.
They stay where they
they're
know
currently,
they're going to get bombed and that their
they
lives
should
are in
be
danger.
they should be. So you're currently supporting individuals who are blockading, right, resources from going into Gaza as humanitarian aid.
No, I am
right,
not
which is leading to
supporting
the
them.
to
Do not-
the starvation of
do
children
not put
when
words
they're
in
being
my mouth.
displaced.
Because I speak for
So you said that
Yeshua.
they asked for it, right? 70% of Palestinians
They
that are
asked
starving
for
are
it.
not
That is
asking
their
for it.
personal decision.
That's not their
Instead
personal
of
decision.
moving to an Arab country where they have the same beliefs and they
How
should
do they
be
leave?
taking care of them. Why is the Christian
They
world
already
taking
lived in a
care of
country.
the Arabs who have totally different
Wait, if you want to live in this
religious
area, why don't
beliefs?
you just pay for it? Why don't you just buy it from the Palestinians? Why do you have to take it by force?
I
Why do you have to
think
displace
that
them? Why do you have to starve them? Why do you have to
Because
kill them?
Israel was given that land by God himself.
Sarah,
Read the
Sarah,
Bible.
go
You mean
buy
the
the
British?
land. Your God doesn't exist.
was
Go buy
given
the
to
land. If you want
Israel.
the land,
And the
don't go
Ottomans?
forcefully steal it. Okay? That's what you're doing,
Who
Sarah.
was it? Nebuchadnezzar came in and took it away from them.
Wait, do you think that
So you're
God thinks
going
it's
way back
justified
into
to
history.
displace and murder Palestinians?
That is God's war. I'm not going to touch that.
Do you
Hey,
think
That
Sarah?
is God's war.
Sarah, don't abuse Judaism and try to use it as an excuse for atrocities that are happening in the Middle East, okay? Thank you.
Oh, are you in trouble?
what?
You,
In trouble?
yes.
How
You'll
so?
you'll be hearing from God himself in the near future.
I can't
Sarah,
wait. I can't
I'm
wait.
one of the chosen people.
You are not. You are not. You're a nobody
Yeah.
on the scale of things. Thank you for listening to me, and God bless you, Parker.
Sarah, by your definition of your God, he literally would be.
Well,
I
would
descend
be-
from Aaron, Aharon.
I descend
I'm a direct
from
descendant
God
of Aharon.
himself. I can work my ancestry clear back to God himself. I'm related to all of the kings of Israel. So,
Okay, so again, do you think it's
thank you
justified?
very much for listening.
Yes, Sarah.
And,
so you're not going to engage with any truth.
God
You're just going to
bless
say
you,
it's
Parker.
justified to displace and starve Palestinian children.
Those are all humankind's decisions.
It is not their decision. The little children that are starving in Gaza, that's not their decision.
That's their parents' decision.
That is a result. That is a
You
result
have to
of
blame the
that is a
parents
result
on
of the
that.
blockade.
They're the ones that did not move them
That is a
to
result
a
of the
safe
blockade,
place.
and that is a result
They were
of
told
Israel's
to go
actions in
to where
Palestine.
it was safe. They should have gone north. They should have gone north into the Arab countries where their beliefs
so they should
and
be
their
displaced
religious.
so that Israel can bomb their
You-
entire
you
city
know-
and then
Yes.
go and take over.
You know, north
Yes.
of Gaza is Israel, right?
Evan, thank you for the $6.66. Thank you
I
so much,
said
Evan.
the Arab countries.
There isn't. So, in order to go from Gaza
Details
to the nearest
are,
Arab
are
country
very
to the
important.
north, they have
You
to pass through
be-
Israel.
There's the crown. That's Keter.
They'd have to pass
Back
through
to the
Israel
issue
to go
at
from
hand.
Gaza
Wait,
to
wait,
the
Sarah,
nearest
Sarah,
Arab
listen to
country
Blitz.
north.
Anyone
Listen to
who
Blitz.
does not
Sarah,
use
Sarah,
the name
Sarah,
Yeshua
Sarah, Sarah.
It's just
HaMashiach.
geography.
Sarah, do I need to mute you? Listen to Blitz.
It's just geography. Right. So,
Who is that
There
other
is a-
person talking?
He's in the
It's-
live right now talking to you. You hear him?
you can see my face and my mouth moving.
God bless you,
So-
Parker.
In Gaza, north of Gaza, if you follow along the Mediterranean Sea, there's Israel, and then north of that, there's an Arab country. It's Lebanon, I think, right?
You're getting
then
off
Syria's
onto
north of that.
semantics so that people will not hear the important points.
Well,
Quit
you
trying
said that they
to
can go north to
sway
escape.
people
No,
so
they
that
can't.
they make wrong decisions.
You said just go to an Arab country that's near them. They can't because they'd have to go through Israel. Nice try. Right?
But
so they're literally
Israel would
telling them,
allow them
they're
to do
telling them
that.
to leave, blaming them when they don't leave, when they
Israel
can't leave
would allow
because
them
they're
to
using
cross.
this as justification for ethnic cleansing.
That is not ethnic cleansing.
It absolutely
Those are
is.
decisions they made
Right? There are
themselves.
courts.
That
It's
is
almost
not
certainly ethnic cleansing.
genocide.
Yeah, there are courts in
That
the area
is
that have determined that
suicide.
it's plausibly genocide, right?
You
This is
need
not
to
just
change
this is
your semantics.
by international law.
It is
considered war crimes.
suicide. to stay
No, it's
where
not.
you know you're going to be
No,
bombed.
it's not. Okay, so if I told you I'm going to bomb your house and you decide to stay in your house, you're considering that suicide?
Yes. Yes. If somebody tells you they're going to come and blow up your house and you stay there, you have committed suicide.
I can't even believe this person, bro. I can't even believe this person exists. You got to be kidding me. So
No.
when the U.S. intelligence
Parker.
told, listen to this. When U.S. intelligence told Israel
You're
that there
too
were going to
smart
be
to
attacks
be
on,
making these comments.
Listen. When U.S.
No,
intelligence,
you won't listen to me.
Sarah, I did listen to you. Respectfully, listen to me.
Okay.
Right? When U.S. intelligence told Russia that there was going to be an attack on their land, and they did not believe U.S. intelligence, does that mean that the people who went to that particular type of event engaged in suicide?
Yes, because they were told to move.
The people in Russia engaged in
Yes.
suicide when they were literally
Anywhere
killed
on
by
this
terrorists. Jake, thank you for the $6.66. Thank you so much, Jake.
If somebody comes and
Hail
tells
Satan.
you that they're going to take your children and they're going to torture them and
Gurn, thank you for the
whatever that happened on
$6.66. Thank you so
October
much, Gurn.
7th,
Hail Satan.
would you not be, I am not Satan, and you better be careful because you are asking for the wrath of God. I'm
Okay.
serious.
Give
I
me
have
the
seen
wrath.
billion-dollar
I want to see
companies
the wrath.
go away because they would not listen to me. Goodbye, Parker. I don't know how to turn this off. Would you shut me off?
Why do you want to leave?
Yeah, I
Appreciate the Android. Thank you.
you lost. You lost the
What
argument.
did I lose?
But I love you, Parker, and I think that you do a good job of making people think. And I
did
would
I lose,
like to
Sarah?
encourage the young woman to continue making her stand for the God of heaven
Sarah,
and to
what did I
consider
lose?
calling the Son of God Yeshua his Hebrew name.
What did I lose, Sarah?
You lost the battle over the souls of people.
No, I didn't.
That's one reason. why
Nemo, thank you for the
are here.
$6.66. Nikki, thank you for the
Hail
$6.66. Jade, thank you for the $6.66. Holy shit, what is going on?
No,
So how did
Satan's
we lose?
making it rain
Yahweh.
tonight.
How did
you
we
should
lose?
be saying "Hail Yahweh."
Richard, thank you for the
He is my
$6.66.
Father
Thank you so
God
much,
in
Richard.
heaven.
Not supposed to take the Lord's name in vain, Sarah.
I don't take his name in vain. He
You
is
just
my
did.
Father God, and actually, Yeshua gives me my words to speak. So
So when I say hail Satan, right, that would be the words that
Mock me,
that
mock
Yeshua
my
gave
God.
me, right? Appreciate the hanging
That
life. Thank
is
you so
biblical.
much. Are those the words that your God gave me?
what did you say?
If someone says hail Satan, are those the words that your God gave them? Bradley, thank you for the $6.60.
No, that's who their
Jessica,
God
thank you for the
is. You choose your
$6.66.
God. You
Hail
have
Satan,
two
making it
choices.
rain.
You can either choose Yahweh, the God of heaven, the Almighty God, or you choose Satan, who is the God
I
of the
choose
earth.
no way.
Yeah, because neither of them exist.
Yes, you do. Please turn me off, Parker.
Sarah, why don't you want to engage with critiquing your own view?
I am. I have stood up for the God of heaven.
Thank you so much. I know, but you haven't critiqued your view. You stood up for the belief, but you have not critiqued your own view. Appreciate the
I
roses.
don't know what
Appreciate
you
the hand art.
mean
Thank
by
you so much.
critique.
Like question your own belief system. Think it could be false, right? Because
No,
the,
it's
the
not.
reasons I'm
It's
giving
been
you right
proven
now
to me.
are indicative of that. Michelle, thank you for the $6.66. Thank you, Michelle. Maricela, thank you for the
He has proven
$6.66.
to me
Hail
that
the
he
Prince of
is-
Darkness.
What'd you say, Sarah?
Yahweh has proven to me that he is the God of heaven. He's been in my life, my whole life. I was born for this day. I was born to be here to help the Christians to make it back home.
So you said you were born for this day.
I was born for this period of time. You know how the
So God
book of
wants us to have this
Esther-
conversation. So God wants me to be an atheist.
No, you chose to be an atheist.
Yeah, but God's using me for his plan. So it's good that I'm atheist.
God used Baal.
Jen, thank you for
in
the
Bible.
$6.66.
He will use evil to serve his purpose.
So again, it's ultimately good for me to be atheist. I appreciate the roses. Thank you so much, because
I don't
God's
believe
using it
that
for his
you will
purpose.
be an atheist in the end, Parker. God cherishes your soul. I believe that in the end you will know the truth.
Yeah, but that's many Christians believe that. You could say that about any belief. I could say, in the end, you're going to
But
know
many
that your religion is
Christians are
false.
going to,
Lewis,
oh
thank you for the
my,
six cents of
that's not
roses. I
good.
appreciate it. Thank you for the ICU. Thank you for the bunny ears.
Many Christians have been led astray, but there is a revival that's happening, and God Himself is in control of that, and they are learning the truth. And the time is short, and
Appreciate the
I
ICU. Thank
hope
you so
to
much.
see you all at the main gate at a later date.
Appreciate the ICU. Thank you so much. So here would be my question. If there's no way to differentiate between different beliefs and it's just based upon faith, right? How come, right, Muslims are sent to hell just because they had faith in the wrong religion?
You don't know that most of them are sent to hell. We don't know who goes to hell and who doesn't. We just live our life, and that's what
Do
we're
Jews
meant to
go to
do.
hell?
But you follow who you
Thank you for the
believe
superpower.
in.
Thank you.
And I love the God of heaven. He is such a good, kind, loving. I call him a person because to me, when I get to the other side, we'll all be just like him. We will still have a body. We will still live a life. We had a life before we came to the earth. We came here to deal with these issues. I'm losing my breath. We came here to deal with these issues, to make our decisions, and then we will go to our eternal home. So I will be glad when this life is over and I can pass over. That's all I can tell you.
So when
People
people
are very
die, why are you
hard-headed.
sad?
It's like the stiff-necked Jews.
Sarah,
in the
when people
Bible.
die, do you get sad?
Hey, you don't get to say that, by the way.
Who?
You.
Don't get to say what? I can say whatever I want to
You
say.
get to say Jewish people.
Jewish people. I am
There
part
you go.
Jew.
Yep. No, you aren't. Not the way you talk.
It's very ancient, my Jewish roots. But you cannot say
Bahayanya tuh ini dari